This is going to be interesting. Right. Okay, so this is exclusively for Spotify because my audio wasn't working. So now the YouTube begins.
Okay, what?
Oh my
That was great
goodness.
content. Okay, exclusive Spotify content if you want it. Or Apple Music, which apparently more people listen to.
Yeah, it's now taken over as our leading podcast provider.
Does that mean we can't talk about what we just talked about, or do we? Because then it won't be exclusive.
It's getting really meta now.
Yeah,
like,
well, you're gonna have to go over and listen because.
Well, if you want to, I don't know.
I think we should just have the first bit without.
Let's just carry on.
and then we'll just jump in.
No, it'll be all. No, we can't put it like this.
Last episode, it was great. It was just my dulcet tones.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. You completely screwed that one up. I think
I'm on a train to a bloody just to a tournament in Canterbury, and someone tweets, it's like, it's just Dan's voice.
Yeah, I saw that on the YouTube. He said,
"Oh, the podcast." Like, oh, bloody hell!
Yeah, I listened to it, and I just heard this clap, and I was like, "Hang on a minute."
Oh no!
Oh no! I know exactly what's happened.
I think people liked it. To be honest, I think it was just like ASMR really.
Well, it's been a while since you've done any solo content.
I know. It's people was back in the good old days.
Yeah, so I think that's the closest you're ever going to get from Findale's library for a while.
Guys.
Did you want to talk quickly? Did you want to talk about your idea for the upcoming ProQuest season? Did you want to introduce it to people who maybe weren't fans previously?
You what, mate?
Oh no! Because I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
why?
Well, because I did my Twitter poll now.
Oh, okay. All right. That was in place of. All right.
Well, I didn't really think about it. I was just like thinking, what I forgot I had this plan. I was like, what should I play for the ProQuest? I was like, I'll just do a Twitter poll, and then Dash won, and I was like, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, I wouldn't mind.
We'll do it for Dash then. Just buy booster boxes of Arcane Rising.
Well, it's tricky because you can't find Arcane Rising anywhere anymore.
Can you not?
I mean, it would be really hard, but I'm kind of going to give Dash a go. I think Dash is kind of cool. So anyway, we're talking.
Dash is kind of cool.
I wonder if someone sent you 6 packs of Arcane Rising.
Yeah,
and then you've got to then make that as your starting point.
Do you remember the drop rates for Arcane Rising?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Did you open a box? Did you open a box?
We haven't even mentioned what I was planning on doing.
No.
YouTube, no. Nobody else knows.
Oh, right, okay.
I was considering doing another sealed only for ProQuest and doing. Well, the plan was to do Arachne because Arachne is like pretty easy to build.
That's true. Just Dynasty packs.
But then I was like, maybe I want to play Dash. I guess I could do it for that. We'll see. Who knows?
So you had to open up a box, and what you've got?
A French Teclo core now. What am I meant to do with that?
Sacre bleu. So
or whatever Teclo core is in French. It's probably Teclo. I'm not going to.
Teclo fleur.
Flower.
Teclo flower. Maybe.
Oh my gosh! Can we talk about non-fan? It's home news.
Oh, sorry, everyone. All right, okay, hold on. You had to do the clap. Home news. Home news.
That's not a thing. Stop it. What are you doing? You can't just make stuff up like that on the fly.
It is, everyone.
That's never been a thing.
Well, it is.
Home news, clap, clap, clap.
Home news. Home news.
It's not a formal segment. I could tell.
So weird.
It's the World Cup, everyone.
What has gone on here?
We were chatting into this podcast, and Hamish was talking about giving merch away, and I felt such.
To be honest, though, have either of you watched much of the World Cup?
Yeah.
I'm so aggravated already with this clapping.
Right. Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's move on, Trip. Don't worry. Okay. So, what is there any apart from World Cup? We can talk about that very slightly. What is anything happened to you guys? I've got something.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I was going to surprise my wife with a present, right? I got a bonus from work, and now I work for the council. It's not a bonus. It's called a pay rise after 6 years, right?
Okay.
and they backdated it, so I got So I got some extra money. A pay rise. I know. Who would have thought?
For the public sector.
How did that happen?
Ew. So so I wanted to surprise my wife. She was saying she wanted to get this 15-in-1 ninja
Oh, Ninja cooker, like a pressure cooker, and
yeah.
Not like
I would advise you get an Instant Pot rather than Ninja, but okay, carry on.
Whoa, well, it's a bit fucking late now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where were you? What do you mean? Now I think I've just brought the wrong thing.
You bought the wrong thing.
What?
It's fine, mate. Ninja's fine. Ninja's a reputable brand.
6 years.
What? Don't
finally
start.
got your bonus. And you bought the wrong bloody kitchen.
Oh no, hang on. I didn't buy the wrong one. My wife was bleeding.
No, I think it does. I think it does more than the Instant Pot. So you're okay.
Oh, this is just the most Simon thing ever. He'll come in, just give a slight little Stanley knife jab, which will, he'll cut deep.
Shank you. Shank you.
It's a Stanley knife jab. He'll cut so deep, and then he'll go, "Oh no, it's all right. It's only a little prick." Well, that's you, mate.
Wow.
Well,
bit harsh, but there you go.
Well, I know. In my dreams. Anyway,
you felt it. Yeah.
I do. Well, anyway, I brought it, right? My wife was going on about it, and I was like, okay, I'll buy this thing. And everyone who's probably going to now look up at how much this thing is, it's not cheap. And I was going to surprise her for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then the fucking postman knocked on the door today. And she answered the door. And on the fucking box, it says what it is.
Disgraceful. Where'd you buy it from?
From
the Ninja store.
Well, yeah, I bought it from the Ninja store because
Did you mark that it was going to be a gift?
No.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
I think that's
but it's
you
because
don't expect it to say on the box.
No, I don't. No, why would they put it on the box? No, because people will then know what it is and then nick it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they just have this box with nothing, no description of what it is. I don't know. Well, I bought it from Ninja because blue light card.
Oh yeah, I love
blue light. I got blue light card and
20% off.
It was actually, they said it was, anyway, I'm not going to bore everyone with these stupid deals. So I brought it. It was meant to be a surprise. She saw it at the door and went, "Hello, what's this, Hamish?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that's that fucked."
Now you got to get her another Christmas present as well.
What you should have said is it's a Christmas present.
Oh, here we go, YouTube.
Again, every time.
Here we go, YouTube. Welcome to the Nottingham experience of Simon going. Oh, he's actually frozen. He's frozen in place. Oh, he's not. Oh, I don't know. That'll be a mystery.
We laugh at what Simon said, even though we didn't actually hear what it was.
No, I didn't hear anything. So that was my home news. I bought my wife a Ninja cookie thing, and it was meant to be a surprise. And my son's not very well. That's about it. What about you? What about you, Simon?
You can't.
What?
You can't just leave it on that.
Finish with my son's not well. Simon, you tell a happy story.
Fucking hell! All right, he's got a temperature and he's coughing. What is that? It's not.
I hope he feels better, Hamish.
I'm trying to think if there was
to sympathise with you, Hamish. We went through. My daughter had an ear infection last week, and she had to have antibiotics for that ear infection.
Ooh.
She wasn't. Yeah, she had a couple of days off school.
A lot of bugs going around. It's winter in Britain. It's winter.
It is.
Yeah.
It's also very cold.
Is there anything funny?
I mean, we
did you say something to Nikki that you shouldn't? Come on.
Well, is that not good enough from Simon? Is that
Don't put me on the.
What? His child's got an ear infection. All right.
We did go out to a very middle-class, middle-aged thing yesterday. We went to a National Trust property.
Oh.
At Belton House.
Wow.
Took the kids to an adventure playground and Christmas lights. So.
Oh, Christmas lights.
Oh, okay. Well,
although it felt a bit too early because it's not even December yet.
For YouTube.
So I'm not a fan.
Simon, I think you're gonna have to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You need to stop going to these middle-class restaurants and buy better internet. Oh God!
There we go.
What is this? Oh, okay. Hey! Okay, we did the YouTube shuffle
last time. So
yeah.
Should I do my?
Yeah. What's your home news? Have you actually got anything crazy?
I've got something quite similar to you, Hamish, but almost the opposite. Is that I
no cooking?
I bought a new laptop. As a present because her old laptop.
Come on, Simon. Why don't you criticize Trip on what laptop he purchased and tell him?
Oh, that's a great present. Well done, Trip.
It was just the cheapest.
Good job.
cheapest one with a solid state hard drive because her old laptop's really slow. But anyway,
Yeah.
the guy came to deliver it, and he wouldn't give it to me because he couldn't let me sign for it unless he was in a specific place.
What?
On my address, he was like, normally it would be at your front door,
Right.
but it's not your front door.
Right.
It's down the road. So I had to walk with him.
This sounds like a scam.
Wow. Okay.
It sounds like you're going to kidnap you.
And then I could sign it. And then he gave me the laptop. And then I was back in.
That's ridiculous. So where did he walk you down to?
Just down outside, because I live in like a block of flats. I'm on the ground floor, so I had to go out and out outside the front of the flats. And that's
weird.
where it was, where the
transaction,
the GPS or whatever it was. I guess it's to stop him like signing.
Oh, I see. Okay, right.
But I had to give him a code. He had to take a photo of me, and also he had to be in a specific place to.
Where did you buy this laptop from?
Yeah,
That's good security.
Was that Wish.com?
No, Amazon.
No, Hamish, if you bought it from Wish.com, it'd be this big.
My brother, I don't want to detract it too much, but my brother told me about this thing from Wish.com. It is a finger harpoon, right? It's
this. I know this is an adult-only podcast, but this is taking it too far.
It was an actual toy. So he said with it, you've got this rubber band, a harpoon goes on it, you flick it out, and it's attached to some fishing line, and it's like a metal sharp thing, and it's actually, and then it's got a little reel. It's got a little reel.
Can you imagine if you flicked it back?
He's got my brother collects so much weird shit. He got a hand claw. He's got this tiny little cannon that fires metal like things, and it's got a little gunpowder in. It's kind of cool though. Yeah, my brother just finds weird stuff. Anyway, I don't want to detract it too much.
I know. I mean, that's fine.
But your story, that's mental, man.
I know, and he was really grumpy about it, and I was like, "Dude, you've made me go out."
It's your idea.
It was freezing cold. I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go get a jumper," and he was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'm not."
What?
If you must. Well, you want me to go out?
Anyway, it was a bizarre experience.
That's pretty funny. Oh, you got that laptop.
I did tell her about it though.
Oh, wait, does she?
I just
it wasn't a Christmas present.
It wasn't a Christmas present.
Well, it was like she's not going to get a very Christmas present.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of thing. It could be the same for you, Hamish. You can get like a really bad.
Well, I was apparently Faye tells me that I'm like I'm terrible at surprises. Which
I'm not surprised.
No, I don't think either. No, it doesn't. I don't think if you know me, I don't think that surprises anyone.
You're not a very surprising person, to be honest.
You joking? Am I predictable?
I would say a little bit predictable. At times.
That's what my wife says. And I was like, well, then I want a divorce. Didn't see that coming. She did. I did actually. Well, she said I knew something was happening because you were talking about this ninja cooker thing a lot, and I was like, apparently when I was going on about it, I was saying, I don't think we need one because you don't seem very and she goes, well, I just knew you were just talking about this a little bit more often than normal, whereas I know that if you really didn't think about it, there's no way you would bring any of it up because you'd just forget. So
is this where we announced that we're now sponsored by Ninja? Is that
Can you imagine? Yeah,
mate, I'll be fucking cool. You all get a ninja cooker. If I have to just I would love to do an advert.
You get a ninja. You get a ninja.
I'd love to do
Fi and Katsu. That's what we really love.
Well, you boys are in luck because one day we're gonna get. I said to Faye that Trip and Simon and all the extended parties attached to them are gonna come down to our house
for the fab den.
And I said we can have some food, and then you'll all be. Well, you don't have kids, so are you a family?
I take thee to be my extended.
Hamish has just absolutely destroyed everyone that doesn't have children. Now.
Well, no, you're a couple.
Are you a family if you don't have children?
No, that is a question. It is a philosophical question. Are you a family or are you a couple?
No, you're a family.
No, you're a couple.
You're a family.
You're a couple of people without a family.
your sisters, and
They are family.
No, but that's your family, your mum, your dad, and all that. And then
he's married. They're a family.
Is that how it works? Because I've never once.
You have like your small family and then your big family.
Have you ever said to Kate's mum? Have you ever said mum?
No.
Oh, there you go then.
But she's still my mother-in-law.
Yeah, but you don't say hello, mother-in-law, or hello, mum.
My mother-in-law, mum.
No, I don't because
I've known her for like 11 years.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where you're going.
That's
with
weird.
this.
No, I'm just saying.
Maybe if I hadn't met her, if I'd like met her at the same time as getting married, but I've known Kate's parents since I was like 17, so
I don't know. I'm just weird in my head. Like I've got my
podcast. Comment on this YouTube video. Am I in a family?
Does Trip have a family?
Does Trip have a family? I don't know. I think no. Trip's got a family, but has he got his own family, or is he in a Or is he in a married relation? Is he in a couple?
Know why this is a question?
It's I don't know. I thought family. Family sounds like more than two. That sounds like a free thing.
Should we do drinks?
Should we do drinks?
I don't know.
Hamish, what are you drinking tonight?
I brought 2 drinks.
2?
Yeah, well, one of them was on the flight and it looked a little small, so I wanted to have a top up. So I don't know who gave me this. It could have been you, Simon, but I can't really remember. But it was the Brewdog Jetstream that we got from the Heathrow flight. I brought it home.
Did you bring it off the plane? Brilliant.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
there's not many.
Good shout.
I just couldn't.
Did you? So, do you want some beer knowledge?
Go for it.
So that beer was specially brewed to taste hoppier at altitude because your taste buds taste things differently at altitude.
So basically, you got a shit drink now. That's what you're telling me.
No, I'd never tasted it on the ground. So you're probably tasting it when many people haven't.
I'm sure someone stuck it off a plane. I just looked at him and went like, I can't be fucked drinking right now.
Fair enough.
And then my backup is a Brooklyn lager because they're good. All right, what about you? Can't sit still and jibed me in the side, Simon. Mr. Hates ninja cooking.
I love a ninja. I am back on the Brewdog as well. I may have
they
taken advantage of some Christmas. Yeah, well, they did a lot. Yeah, I feel like they've put in some effort to try. Anyway, I've took advantage. Some of their Christmas deals.
Oh, okay, right. Don't worry. We're going to push through. There is no editing. Power through. What are you drinking, Simon?
Is it still working or not?
Yeah, I don't. No one cares. They expect nothing. Deliver less. Go. What?
Push that point. Don't bend that point. And
so I have it. It reminds me of one of our good friends in the UK community, Hamertron, Jason Hamer, because it's a Hamerton and Brewdog collaboration called Noonan's Water, which is a dark IPA.
Sounds good. I'd drink that.
Yeah,
7.2%.
Cool. And what about you? Legolas of the laptop man. I don't know why I'm going with that one.
Beautiful. So I have an interesting beer. It's another Moore beer. I got some from a brewery called Moore Beer or Moore Brewery. It's a smoked lager.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
It literally tastes.
How smoky is it?
Like it's very smoky. You ever had a Lapsang tea, which has this like?
Yeah.
What the hell's a Lapsang tea?
Smells and
Lapsang Souchong.
It's a little bit like that. It's like you've got a bonfire in your mouth. It's very good. It's definitely a kind of beer I don't think I could drink more than one in a sitting. But it's very tasty.
Well, let's have some low altitude beer, everyone.
Cheers.
I haven't poured mine yet.
Yeah.
Hurry up then. While Trip's pouring his, the Orlando Legolas jibe just reminded me, in the last couple of weeks, I've actually watched, for the first time, the extended editions of Lord of the Rings.
You what? Hang on. We have been doing this podcast for this long, and you've not watched the extended edition.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself.
I couldn't believe
because they are.
I would not even have invited you on this if I knew this.
They are absolutely the best edition to watch.
Oh my god, it's like someone's just discovered milk.
Apart from some of Return of the King.
No.
Which part?
No. Yeah, go on.
Right,
Everyone's you're gonna get killed for this.
There's a lot of Frodo and Sam.
No, so there's a couple of gripes with Return of the King, and I'm only saying this because I watched it like last night.
Chat, comment, kill him.
Right. So the biggest thing is there's no scouring of the Shire. They didn't have room for scouring of the Shire. Which is
okay, right. I thought
that's a legitimate concern.
I know that's fine because I know the book's too big.
But issue with the extended edition, though, right? That was just never.
Yeah, that's not an extended edition problem. That's all of the problem.
The extended edition gripe I had is the bit with Eowyn and Faramir. That was completely superb. Like that was just crowbarred in.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have a go at. I'm literally saying, "Oh, you don't know your Lord of the Rings," and I'm like, "What fucking bit was that?"
Right. No. Seriously. So.
What bit is that?
The romantic connection was given with no real context, no real need. Like it was just chucked in, and the other bit like that, and it's different in the books because who are
these two people?
Eowyn.
Who's that again?
Or Faramir.
She is no man.
Oh,
the Witch King of Angmar.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Now edit your comment and direct it towards Hamish instead.
Yeah,
I know. No, okay. If you told me it was those two, yes, yeah. I remember now. Right, that little bit was kind of. I don't remember it because it's not important.
Exactly, that's what I mean. It was just chucked in. It didn't add anything. And the other bit was when the Witch King of Angmar basically has Gandalf like shatters his staff. In the book, it's a lot different.
What happens in the book?
So in the film, he gets called away to go and do something basically when he's about to kill Gandalf. And you're like, why would he do that? In the book, it's set up as a lot more like his attention is needed further away from the city to try and turn the tide of the riders of Rohan arriving and stuff like that. So in the film, it didn't really make sense the way they had that scene.
That's it. That they removed that. That's extended edition.
That's extended edition only. That's what I mean. Like there's a couple of bits in Return of the King, and I didn't feel this about any of the other extended editions. Like I felt like the story and character building that was added by the extended edition scenes in the first two films was phenomenal. Like the extended bit in the Shire at the beginning was just perfect.
Yeah, you needed all them because it actually made a lot of the story make sense. And you're
absolutely, and you're like, this is amazing. And
I don't think I know what is the original movies and what.
No, I don't. No,
only have the extended edition.
Exactly.
And the bit in Return of the King when Aragorn goes the path of the road of the dead and everything, that was really good addition. Stuff like that needed to be in there.
Yeah, and when Saruman died, that little exchange at the top. Because in the original, they didn't even
film, didn't they?
No, they didn't. In fact, he was never in the original.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
yeah, they never showed up, and everyone went, "Oh, he's locked in his tower," and that was it. Bye bye.
That was it.
Yeah, that little scuffle they had, and he's a fireball. I'm like, ooh.
So that was pretty cool. But there were just some bits that I was like, well, that didn't really add any context. There was no context for that scene, and is it just that you're adding all the stuff that you wanted anyway? But the films on the whole were phenomenal.
Well, welcome to 2004, everyone.
Yeah, 25 minutes into the podcast. And
oh my God, right.
Well, we didn't look, we barely mentioned
Cheers.
Okay, so we're doing, right, 25 minutes in, this is a record, cheers. Yeah. Okay, so we are doing it's not 25 minutes for YouTube, it's 25 minutes for Spotify. So we're doing a mailbag.
4.5 minutes for YouTube, right?
I don't know. We're doing a mailbag.
Keep that momentum going, boy.
Trip, I seen that you've got a comment because you shared it. So I'm going to pull mine up. So we're going to start off with, Dale gave us a few. I think he's given us plenty to talk about in just one whole episode, but I want to get through with other people.
Oh, quick fire round.
Do a quick.
Yeah, we can all save some.
Okay, so we start with Dale. Dale Small gave us a couple. Have you told the others that you are the game killer, Hamish?
Yes, he absolutely did. The first thing he said to us was basically, I want you to do this podcast, but you should probably know that every game I get involved with dies.
Let's begin.
Well.
And then he gave us the example of Warhammer Champions, where he played it for like a year and then it died.
Not just that, Simon. There's also Netrunner. And
I said it was just an example.
I've got many. So, welcome to this game's. The game's on the clock, everyone. Hopefully, I quit and then the game will live. How many cards are in your collection? Jesus Christ, Dale. Loads.
Oh, I have no idea. Too many.
The get to change one rule. What is it? Now, if you got to change one rule in the game, what would it be?
That's a great question.
That's all right.
That's an in-depth question.
That's actually a really good question. I think I would probably change.
Oh, I can hear the distant screams of the what's the illusionist boots that Dromai has that don't work at all.
Oh, I mean that's just dumb.
If I could change the rule of one thing, I would change the rule of Skeleta to not be as crazy, because I want Skeleta back.
Yeah, I don't think it shouldn't be like an errata. It should be like a rule of the
game. A game mechanic.
I actually think I would make classic constructed matches last exactly 1 hour as a time limit.
Oh, what about the blitz ruling of in sideboard cards having more of a sideboard option for blitz?
I don't hate that. I know people occasionally say that, but I actually quite like how simplistic blitz is, and I love not having to sideboard.
Okay.
But I think I would make classic constructed games an hour. I would add an extra official 5 minutes to the game time.
All right. Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird that it lasts 55 minutes. I think this should just last an hour.
How many mats do you own?
Too many.
Oh, good
I actually
looked at questions before the podcast. I could have actually counted. I've got like 30 probably.
30?
Yeah,
Jesus,
I'm pushing.
Is it just
maybe 20, 25?
If it's flesh and blood mats,
too many, maybe 20 to 25 as well.
I've got.
Me and Simon farmed a lot of mats.
We did early doors.
Like there was not many people playing, and it was just like you would win a mat if you finished first in an online tournament.
Well, I've got a mat from each skirmish season.
I've got 8. I've got 8.
And I bought a few mats. Been to a lot of pro tours. Got a lot of mats at pro tours. I came out of the first pro tour with like 4 mats.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
What other games do you enjoy?
Elden Ring.
Oh, okay. Are we talking? I think no, but I know that Dale was pointedly putting this as the tabletop.
I don't play any other tabletop.
No. It doesn't have to be Warhammer or card games. It can be board games or role-playing games.
So
any board games.
You play a role-playing game. You're a dungeon master for them. Oh, there you go then. You like Dungeons and Dragons.
This was my first real card game / anything.
What about board games?
The only thing I'd played about a month before I got into this was Star Wars Destiny, which is fun, but janky. In terms of board games, we play Splendor semi-regularly at home.
Yeah,
that's quite a nice game to play.
That's good.
Catan every now and then.
I really like Seven Wonders Duel. If you're in Hamish's definition, not a family, and you're just a couple. Seven Wonders Duel is a great, one of the only decent 2-player board games. I have not found that many good 2-player board games.
Sushi Go is great as well.
Oh, you would like Arkham Horror, the LCG, which is
I've not played that,
yeah, that's a very good co-op game, and you're all working together to try and beat the game. I know that Dale's angling this at me because he rips into me every Tuesday at the club to go, look at this club that you've helped run for almost 13 years and you don't play any of the games in it because no one plays Flesh and Blood. I just sit about but my favorite game, which is probably more, it's better than Flesh and Blood. I'll say it. Better than Flesh and Blood. Kingdom Death. If you've never heard of it,
know what that is.
Oh my! Yeah, Kingdom Death is like.
It's like a new expansion.
Was this the one you did on Kickstarter?
No, not me. No, I'm not that rich. That's
no.
That was my friend Ben. The core game is 300 and something pound just for the core set.
Ooh.
Yep. And when he showed me a quick glance of his Kickstarter pledges, talking, I don't know, at least over 1,000. I was like,
wow.
Oh my god. It is, but I'm telling you now, it is like the greatest game I've ever played in my life. It infuses the best everything I love about Berserk and Monster Hunter like combined, where you are hunting things down and then you've got a settlement to try and maintain, and everything is just awful. Do not get attached to your characters because they will die horrifically. Even
like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and then you even have to make your settlement bigger. You gotta get it on. And people die from childbirth. It's brutal. The game is not
okay.
It's not nice, but it's
Hence
also
Kingdom Death.
It is in the name, but everything about it is just you kind of plonked in hell. If that makes sense. And
plonked in hell.
Yeah, effectively, and everything is just not nice. But that's one of the best games I've ever played. Because everything about it just looks amazing as well. And the last question from Dale: the best and worst bit about the community. I was like, "Oh, that's a real slinger there." The best bit, it's kind of easy to say. Best bit is there's so many good bits to say about our community. When I say our community, I wouldn't say Push the Point community because there isn't a worst bit.
The Flesh and Blood
awesome.
UK community, definitely.
The worst bit about it, I think this is not exclusive to Flesh and Blood. I think this is just gamers in general. It's just sometimes you see some people nagging about really pointless stuff, but I'm like, well, that's not Flesh and Blood. That's kind of everything, really. Part of the passion.
I think the passion shows in that slightly negative way sometimes, where people will argue about very irrelevant stuff from viewpoints that almost can't be changed.
Yeah.
So it's like an immovable force meets a whatever. Like
what happens when an unstoppable object means an immovable
unstoppable force and immovable object. And they argue these points so passionately, which is great to see, but they're just, at the end of the day, they're not necessarily relevant. And sometimes LSS gets a lot of people jumping to its defense when there should be a space for constructive criticism.
Yeah, I think there is. I agree with that. There is some times where you actually can look at a situation and go, that's pretty crap. And then a lot of people go, no, but you can't say it's crap. I'm like, no, you can. You can actually say this isn't that good. And that's fine. It's actually fine to, not everything can be great.
I think it's fine for people to have a moan. Like, I don't really do too much. Like, on Twitter and stuff, it's just like so throwaway. Like, as long as it's not personal or like libelous, I think people just want to have a vent sometimes, don't they? Things they don't like. Or
I will say though, they do need to announce their organised play.
They do.
They do need to kind of get
really
on with
poor at doing that. Yeah,
I will say that's my niggle LSS. Come on, man. I want to see these Pro Tour dates. We know it's in North America. I mean, that's an entire continent, but we don't know when. But
yeah, I think everyone wants that, don't they? Like, it seems like it's probably harder than it seems, but I think also it just needs to be a bit better, because how are we meant to plan? Like, we don't all have tons of prize money to just throw at tickets.
Yeah,
we actually have to put money in a bank account and save
for
to go abroad. So but yeah, like, I didn't really have a negative thing about the community. Like, I know it's pretty boring, but I just don't
it's
the community in any negative way. Like, even the annoying things I kind of love. I love a bit of drama.
A
love a gossip.
I love financial and market chat on the YouTube board. It's like Oprah.
It's hilarious.
You got some people willing to die on hills that are like, I didn't even know this was a hill, but off you go.
The end, isn't it? Like, and everyone just switches off, gets on with their day, and the real world takes over. But
I love it. So should we do the next question?
As a brief interlude,
okay.
Trip, you're gonna love this bit. I'm gonna save you a couple of cans of this.
Yeah.
So it's got the hoppiness and the
What is the beer again?
It's called it's a Hamilton and Brewdog collaboration called Noonan's Water. It's a black IPA, and it's got like the hoppiness and the fruitiness of a really crafty IPA, but it's got the bitterness and the carameliness of a stout porter type thing.
It sounds great.
There you go.
I'm going to bring you a couple of cans.
Oh, well, and that goes to everyone else in the chat that likes the sound of that. Simon's giving you.
Just let me know if you're going to be at Leeds. I might bring you a beer.
I reckon we should give a beer that we've never tried before a push the point recommendation. So do you give?
We recommend one of our drinks.
Well, I don't know if it's that good. You go. You know
Hamish,
what?
It's almost like Trip had organised a beer tasting type event for charity that we had on a certain date.
I was wondering why this sounded like a good idea.
Yeah, it's almost like someone had that idea.
Yeah, well, I was just mine was slightly different because I couldn't remember.
So sick when we do that stream.
Well, you've never had that beer before, so you give it a good thumbs up. Considering that you've paused this whole bloody thing to say it.
Guys, we do the Bermondsey Beer Mile online, and you get a different beer from each brewery. That's what the plan is.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's going to be sick.
That's in the future.
All right. Next question.
Yes, go.
Well, I'll do this one, and then you can do your one, Trip, and then we'll end on the last one. So Shamir has asked, what new classes or talents would you like to see added to the game? How would you like them to look / function? He has said but I like them both, so we'll say them both.
Yeah, I'd like a priest or a cleric style class.
I want a necromancer
with healing. I think healing in Flesh and Blood's really interesting compared to. So, like I said, I haven't played a lot of other card games, but I get the impression that cards that heal are just kind of pointless. But in Fab, it seems to be more relevant. Life gain is a bit relevant. Like cards like Sigil come in and out. Not so much in CC, but they're super relevant. They have been super relevant in Blitz, and I like that life gain actually serves a role by allowing you to survive longer and play a game.
But do you want a game to drag on just when someone does nothing but heal? Like, how do you win the game?
It wouldn't be like that though. That's for the game designers to.
So how would you like it to function?
It's not my job.
Well, that's the question.
This is the thing.
He's got a question. It's not my job. Next.
I would like a cleric or a priest class.
Yeah.
If LSS want me to design it, send me check.
So I think there might actually.
I ain't doing your shit for you. They're avidly listening. Listening, go. God, this is the question we've all been waiting for. We want Trip to give us the gold. Come on, Golden Goose.
I think there might actually be like room for a dark priest, like rune blade. Yeah, like a shadow priest rune blade type thing.
Like a warrior wizard sort of combo mix. That's kind of dark, you know. Some warrior wizard that comes out of the monastery. I think that'd be really original.
And as a aside to Shamir's question, I don't want new talents. I just want them to print more talent cards.
No.
Shadow.
Oh wait, yes, I agree.
I don't like lightning, ice. We have had ice, but print more talent cards. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
A new Earth card to replace. I don't know. No, it wasn't Earth card. We haven't had a new lightning card to replace ball lightning. We've had Earth cards get moved, like get suspended, and just certain heroes like Earthbriar.
We haven't had any shadow really either.
What Earth card's been suspended?
Autumn's Touch was briefly.
Yeah, but that's not anymore. It's just ball lightning.
But it was just annoying that there's a limited number of Earth cards, right? So if you touch
they've got rid of 9 cards effectively.
Your consistency, because Earthbriar, I was playing Earthbriar, and like. They took away Autumn's Touch because Starvo was.
Well, not anymore.
Okay, I guess that deck is dead and all I needed was blue Earth cards, right? Doesn't matter what they do, and like it just got taken out. So I just think that print more talents of existing talents.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because sorry, just to but it's weird because if you do that, doesn't like it makes the set weird. Because like the reason you want to get the Earth cards is you just buy Tales of Aria and that kind of is your complete package. It's just because they banned.
sets are full. You're getting hung up on the Earth card too much. I'm talking like Ball Lightning. There's no the Lightning package is incomplete, right?
Yeah, it is.
I'm
I
pretty
agree with that.
sure. I'm pretty sure there is a long-term plan. Maybe I'm giving them too much benefit of the doubt, but
Yeah,
it is
stop
telling,
defending.
I know it is telling that none of the expansion sets have had talent cards in of
they
any
have.
note.
There's a light illusionist and a light warrior in Dynasty.
Yeah.
So
of usefulness.
Well, I'm just saying.
Actually, they have printed a lot.
Well, actually, well, if you
However,
see from Exhibit A.
However, I am actually with Hamish on this one. I'm quite looking forward to a Necromancer class. Only because, like, a Necromancer class.
Oh man, you said Necromancer.
Necromancer. So I have very fond memories.
That was one time in Leicester when I was 18, right? It was 2 a.m. and I summoned a Necromancer.
I have very fond memories of playing like Diablo 2 in the Necromancer class and not the Necromancer class. That's Hamish's speciality.
I can't get it out of my head now.
And I would like to see that. Again, it's not necessarily something new for the game, but produce allies in Legion. So
okay. Sorry, YouTube.
I don't know.
In other words, he says it was
there must
good.
Be a way. There must be a way to do this, but with more of a maybe a life loss mechanic or a mill mechanic that similar to Blood Debt, that your allies are tied to your life total.
I liked how I think they did the allies to other resource mechanic with. They showed it off really well with Dromai, having an alternate resource with Ash to develop a board state. I think they've got this sort of plan idea down, and they've done it well. I don't think having health, maybe health turning into allies, is a thing. You couldn't give it back, if that makes sense. Like if they died, it comes back, because that would be like busted. But I think Necromancer definitely does feel like he needs to summon things onto the board, and like Dromai, he's as good. Or she. He could be the Necromancer or the Necromancer, either or.
I think we actually had a similar question like this in the past, and I think I also answered that I want more demonic, like a demon class, or like more monstrous classes.
Yeah, we said this ages ago.
All of our heroes are
like along the brute line where they're
like
animalistic,
and Rhinar, who are like non-human. I believe.
And then who else? Viscerai was kind of he's
resurrected.
Well, he's kind of humanoid, but like Arachne's really cool. You don't really know what that is.
Human.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, he's got this big lump. Who knows? But it's
then
like
obviously
dudes in
mechanologists can be part man, part machine, or part woman, part machine.
Well, yeah, but it would be really cool. Like, Data Doll, which is not the best example, but like, something that's not
a living AI. Yeah.
Well, something just more freaky, robotic looking. I agree with you, Trip. His less open-ended question was there is a second. For something a little less open-ended, what do you love most about Fab's mechanics so far? Would you like to see that thing leveraged further into the future? So in short, is there something you really like, and would you like them to push it forward more? Which I think you might have said.
My thing all the way through playing Fab, the fact that you can do multiple things with each card, and that plays into an almost infinite number of decision points during each game. I just think it's an amazingly complex game that is maybe simple to pick up and complex to master.
It's the blocking, I think, is the fact that you have to make a decision about whether you want to attack with a card or block with a card is so fundamental to the game. In terms of going further with that, I think it's kind of the foundation of Fab is that mechanic. I don't think they need to do anything more with it. It's just about the balance of you have cards in your deck that you want to attack with, but sometimes you have to block with them. that's really good. I love that so much. It was very pronounced in Blitz when you have a small deck, but increasingly it's more relevant in CC as well, especially as we're getting mill decks. People becoming more and more aware that there's only a certain percentage of their deck that has, attacking power, right? Like red cards that do good stuff, and how you use them and how you get the most out of them is really important. So that's
I don't think I've got a mechanic that I want to see develop further. I don't know. I think I kind of said it really. I said it with the Dromai stuff. I like this alternate resource mechanic used in different ways. Like Bolton's got charge in, and so like the light heroes had the soul, and then Dromai is now using Ash. Viscerai kind of has this sort of play with rune chants a bit, but he does and he doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like these other features that show up that they've got to work with, and I think when they pushed that the most with Dromai, like this whole Ash thing is so core and fundamental to her game plan. She can make decks without it, but this whole dragon thing is like, you got to get this whole thing right. That is the sort of stuff I would love to see more like that.
Developed.
Yeah, and and Dromai is not the best and she's not the worst. That's what I like. It's something that is just good and interesting. So
yeah,
I think the soul mechanic was fine, but it was also kind of I think Prism's worked. Bolton's was like
quite as relevant when you had Blood Debt straight opposite. Using the banish zone seems so much more powerful.
I think with Bolton they developed kind of a fair go again system.
You had to do this thing.
How good go again is that you have to literally pay 2 cards to get a future pay a card future go again, right?
But the fact that you could bank those from that was interesting.
I think they just need to have some more cards that
free every turn. So.
I think they just need to have some more cards that actually, I don't know, like Reinar's cost for cards is you play, you pitch, you play, you discard. The discard is basically strip a card from hand, and then the card comes in for 6. But whereas with Bolton, this card is literally nothing unless you charge, which is effectively a discard.
Yeah, it's not, because you're banking those resources for later, and that resources go again.
It is true, yeah. In the way of how you have to use it, you are getting rid of the card, which is useful later. But it's just the matter of it. Unless you do that, it doesn't do anything.
I think maybe it just highlighted how above curve go again can be in terms of an ability.
There's one thing I was going to say, which is it's not a feature that I necessarily like, but they need to do something with intellect. Like, no,
it's because it's broke. If you get any more. Christ.
Every hero is going to have 4 intellect that just don't have intellect.
Well, apart from Data Doll.
I think the intellect thing is not for it to increase, but to decrease.
Or it's going to be something 5 intellect, you discard a card every turn, which is really strong, by the way. But I do something with it.
No, I think they will. I think that's the point. I think they don't want to not introduce it, because they might turn around and go, well, we might want to do something with hand sizes, but we have no plan for doing it for years. But we don't want to go, we want to, but we can't. We've got to write things down. They've got a mode selected. It's like the option.
3 is the year of non-4 intellect.
Mate, I look at it like the little dial option on my audio thing. It goes, why don't you just turn this up a little bit? And I go, I could do, but I'm never going to. But I might do. And the day I do is the day I'll go, thank God I've got this little dialy thing I can muck about with.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
That's a mechanic I'd like them to do more with. It's not necessarily a mechanic I have strong feelings about. But
you wait until someone shows up with an intellect 3 and no one plays it.
They have. It's called Data Doll.
Yeah, no one. It's got to do something wild. Go on, Trip.
What's the question?
Yeah, so we got a question from Perenine, who's got a a lore YouTube channel as well.
Aaronine came up to us and introduced himself to both Hamish and I at the Thursday night dinner in Worlds, and it was such a lovely guy.
Yeah,
such an awesome guy.
Lovely dude.
Like audio narrated content, really awesome voice for like narration and everything. So check out their channel. And a really good question: if you could Thanos snap one class card set out of Fab, which would you pick of each? So if you could get rid of a class, a card, or a set. So should we start with class? If you guys don't have an immediate one, I have a slightly spicy choice. Which
is it illusionist or wizard?
No, I think I would get rid of Runeblade.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the reason is, I think Runeblade, I think the design space is too big, right? I think Runeblade covers too many. Like Runeblade has become essentially physical and arcane.
The split damage, yeah.
And I think
it's almost like that should have been shaman, druid.
Exactly.
No, that's just changing the name. Surely it's the same problem.
Oh well, no, but if you split those into different classes, then they don't have the same size card pool to go from. Like I'm with Trip here. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made that a class. I would have made that a talent. So I think access to essentially the rune chant mechanic should have been a talent.
Okay.
Give to, well, not the rune chant mechanic, but like the idea of
split damage
is a talent, and then you have heroes that with access to that talent. So, for example, you'd have to completely redesign heroes like Viserai.
I thought Viserai was a pretty good Runeblade, but I'm being biased. But I think his whole thing is good.
Would be the main hero of that.
So I think on similar lines, Trip. I think Viserai obviously is a Runeblade. He was given arcane abilities by carving runes into his skin and his weapons and his armor, right? Sutcliffe made him a Runeblade by doing dark magic and carving runes into him and his armor. Like Briar never had that. Chain doesn't have that.
Yeah, Briar's is the weirdest one. I think Chain I get.
Briar looks druid. Chain's okay.
Yeah, Chain I get because he literally carved runes into his hands, and Seeds of Agony was his. Seeds of Agony was the real arcane damage split thing, whereas Briar, I think again it just boils down to there's just no lore for them. There's no rhyme or reason why she is a Runeblade. It just is.
The Emperor as well. It's like the Emperor is a wizard warrior. Like,
how do you say Runeblade without?
Right? Yeah. I think that's LSS trying to dial back a bit from being like, okay, maybe we don't want every sword and sorcery.
No, they did. They just didn't want to say Runeblade.
Yeah.
Well, no, but again, it gives him access to completely different class cards.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think Runeblade is an interesting choice on that one.
I think it all comes from. I won't talk about it too much longer, but it all comes from like I believe originally the first set of Fab was meant to have talents in it. It was meant to be Monarch. I'm not sure if that's true or it's just a rumor, but I think having started with these non-talented classes, we lost a bit of space for the talent system, and I think the talent system is really important for Fab's future. And leaning into that, I think it's really good. So yeah,
in terms of
get rid of Runeblade.
In terms of set,
hang on, what about me?
You guys got to do the class.
Oh, Simon
agreed
with
class,
you.
Then.
Oh. What about you, Hamish?
Yeah, Simon, you said Runeblade. I found this one really difficult because as much as I fundamentally don't want that to happen, I think it's easy to say Runeblade. But a little bit of me made me sort of go Warrior. Now, my reason for Warrior is not really there's not really a reason. It's just the fact that I think Warrior is a little too of an open name for a whole class, if that makes sense. Because warriors wield a variety of different weapons. And maybe I'm probably overthinking this a little bit too much, but I think it's just more when you think of a guardian, when you think of ranger, when you think of all the other heroes, it's quite specific on their task and role. And warriors tend to be a little bit like, a brute is a warrior of the jungle, and do you know what I mean? It's just like it's a bit too
vague.
Bit vague, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, Simon. Vague. I think if they turn around and just said like a sword master, so you're like, oh, okay, what does the sword master do? This person's like, I don't know, really good with just like crazy good with swords and stuff like that. So then you can get like dual swords or great swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe that's just a little bit too linear, but that's literally my only reason. I have no reason to ban any of them. I think they're all great.
Yeah, I think mine's very much more from a design space point of view. I don't personally dislike Runeblade as a class, but I think it would open up design space for the.
My argument would be is I think Viscera is the perfect Runeblade because I think he embodies what you wanted Runeblades to be, but you couldn't. But maybe I agree with you there. Like he does everything that you really want Runeblades to do, the whole pure split damage stuff, and then everyone else is kind of like, kind of give you one arcane, I guess.
So so the next question is card. Is there an individual card? I have a really obvious one.
Yeah, obviously. Go on. Does it begin with a B?
No.
Oh, okay. It's not that obvious.
I would get rid of Stormstriders without hesitation.
What in CC?
Yeah, in both games.
Oh, really?
Something else. I think that Stormstriders is literally just like have another turn on a card.
Well, I think Icelander's pushed the reason of why that's kind of a bit too good. I don't.
If you think about it, it's like they printed a card that's pay 1 to draw and play a card that says have another turn. It's like it's so strong, and I just find it's like CC is like I can understand it in CC. I wouldn't die on the hill of CC. The fact they brought it back for Blitz is insane.
I don't agree with that.
Emperor does not work without it, right? Like that's the whole pull of Emperor.
Yeah, totally. And
one hero that's dead.
People like to say, "Oh, it's a really bad experience for new players." I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think new players just laugh it off and are like, "Well, that's pretty crazy." It's actually less fun for more established players. They're just tired of losing to that. And like,
you are 8 health because you're gonna lose.
So in case you're wondering what I would do, I think Stormstriders should be a card in your deck. Like, I think the fact that it's
really okay.
Equipment is so strong.
It's in play from the very beginning.
A card that reads at the start of the game, draw and play this card. That's absolutely bonkers, right?
It's broken,
to have a half turn, take another half turn on a card that has at start of game draw and play this card is insane. So like I think that
and he even has Arcane Barrier too as well, which is
Arcane Barrier.
Yeah.
Maybe that was probably pushing. But at the same time, I think they were.
I'm not saying get rid of that as a mechanic. Maybe it's like it's a blue card. Maybe it's a yellow card. That would be interesting, right? Like if it was only worked on a yellow card. Like I don't know. Like I'm not here to design cards. We've already established that. I think that's.
Trip, you're the golden goose. All the LSS staff are rubbing their hands now.
So the card I would ban or get rid of from the game, Thanos Snap It Out, is actually already Living Legended out.
That's a cop out. Okay, go on, go tell us the card that's already been
Luminaris.
Yeah, well
that card is absolutely busted.
Luminaris is the reason there's weapons attached to heroes.
Yeah,
literally,
literally, absolutely no doubt.
And Rosetta Thorn.
As we were saying earlier, Go Again is such a huge feature to be able to give any card any attack action card in your deck basically
cost zero.
Cost zero.
Any attack.
Any attack.
Cost zero.
And then obviously, turn all your illusionist auras into one Go Again.
Okay,
it's crazy.
So you picked one that's already been banned. So is there?
No, it worked its way naturally to live. It's getting rid of it.
Unlike people, you're gonna.
I'll do the community an entire favor here and say I know that you'll belittle.
Get rid of belittle.
I know you're going to die on that. Well, hang on. You said Stormstriders, and I disagree.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'd actually say?
One is right.
You know what I'd actually say? Get rid of E-Strike.
No.
No. Hear me out. It's. I picked belittle really, but I did sit there and I had a thought. Now, Easter egg is in everything.
Is it?
But sure.
No, it is. It tends to just rock. It tends to just show its face.
Not, but
it does. It does tend to show its face a lot. And the only reason I think people will pick it is because it blocks 3. It didn't block 3 and it blocked 2, just like Exude Confidence does, like Erase Face. You know, I think that's when it starts to become this card that goes, okay, I don't have to pick it because it blocks 3. If it blocked for 2, I think a lot of people will then go, do I really want it? You know, it is really good, but do I really want it? And most of the time you put it in because you know, it could block for 3. It's as good as the right class cards.
It's just the best card that you don't run in your deck, right? So when you're like, is there space for more cards? Yeah. I'll put a couple of
Look, I'm just...
At the end of the day, you just arsenal it.
I agree it's strong because it blocks 3, but I also think that having 3 modes on the card is huge. Like,
yeah, I know. It's so that's the only card where I'm like, what recurs up quite a lot and what is always doing its job no matter what. And it doesn't matter what you play, you could just consider this card.
That's just the point of the card, right?
Yeah, I know. But I think there's something...
In 2 years' time, no one will run it.
No, they will.
So refined.
No, that's my point.
Anymore.
I believe they will. And most of the time, they'll always play it because it's a block, a 0 cost, block 3, hit for 7.
Okay, always. we need to quickly get this.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna anyway. Yeah, there you go.
Which set are we gonna Thanos snap?
Oh god, we're still doing this. Thanos snap a set.
I know which one I'm choosing.
It's Tales of Aria.
Fucking Tales of Aria.
Yeah, Tales of Aria should have never.
Gone.
Oh, it's gone. God,
it's so powerful.
It's cracked. That set is cracked as fuck.
Tails is fun. I don't know why you'd get rid of the most.
No, you joking? Like Tails is so broken, it's unreal.
Yeah, if you keep Tails to a limited faction, like yes, it's fun to play limited, but when you introduce that card pool to everything else that's available,
it is broken. It is literally that set is so broken.
It's fun.
It's fun. But it's not real. Don't worry, Trip. It's not actually going.
Yeah, like I think it's.
So what set would you get rid of?
I get rid of Welcome to Rave.
What? That's the best set. That's like all the core cards.
100% get rid of Welcome to Rave and then reprint it.
You are chaotic neutral.
How you would reprint?
It's Welcome to Talent.
Now that people know how to play the game.
Well, what about Arcane Rising? That doesn't make any sense.
That too. If I could get rid of 2, I would get rid of Welcome to Rave and Arcane Rising. Easy. If I had a choice, like what would I get rid of? If I could get rid of 2 sets, I'd get rid of both of them.
And Crucible?
Fine. Just reprint the heroes from Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising as Welcome to Wraith. This time it's a personal and Arcane Rising.
Welcome to
or really be rising.
Call it Welcome to Talents.
Yeah, give light Dory, some kind of Guardian's fine.
Like, it'll be
Savage Rhina, some kind of cool Katsu thing. There might be some like elemental Katsu thing going on, like water Katsu or something like.
Yeah,
isn't he wind Katsu? I mean, like
genuinely, just get rid of those sets. And like, if all the sets in the game, I could see LS. I know they won't do this, but I could see LSS just being like, okay, those sets don't exist anymore. They're gone.
Challenge accepted.
They'll call him Fart Sue.
I wouldn't get rid of them completely because I really like.
Got you, Simon.
He did get me. He got me. Absolutely got me. What was the last question?
This is from Josh Lumpy. It's a really good question to end on. What is your fab-related goals for 2023?
More casting.
Oh.
Just keep. Just keep playing the game.
To continue. Thank you, Josh Lumpy. By the way, that was from.
I've really enjoyed playing at events like the Pro Tour and the World Championships, and I've enjoyed the motivation those events give me. The
reminds you why it's fun.
Yeah, it reminds me why playing this game is fun and why making content is fun. It allows us to network with some incredible people, but I think we worked out after the Polish Nat stream last year that actually we work really well as a team, not just for a podcast, but for things like casting and commentary. So it's got to be a balance between playing at some of these events and casting some of these events. But I would very much be up for casting some more high-level events with you guys and Shin and some other close friends. So that would definitely be on my radar.
What about you, Trip?
Just more events, meet more people, keep doing Push the Point, keep growing the channel. Like, I think Fab, in terms of tournament results, I'm pretty happy to just coast along these days. I'm not really trying to reach the top to necessarily do super well. I always like to do well at Nats. Like, I'd like to keep finishing in the top 16 of Nats. That would be cool. But I'm pretty open with that. I'd like to prioritize playing more casually, building a few decks, doing some more content on Push the Point, doing some more Fab related content in the content sphere, like where I can. And yeah, I want to do a charity stream with these guys, Push the Point charity stream at some point, make some money for charity, that kind of stuff. But I'm just gonna keep playing Fab. Like, I don't like to have too many goals for my hobby. My hobby is I do it for fun. I don't set myself goals because the goal is fun. It's to have fun because it's my hobby, and I like.
All is fun.
It's fun. Rip. Mine is, I agree with Trip, more the same of next year, being able to go to one or two of the season events that happen with ProQuests and Road to Nationals, so I can meet up and play. I would like to try and go to another big major event again, like I did when I went to Worlds, and I realized that traveling for this game and playing games outside of the UK is
pretty special.
It is actually. I really going to Utrecht and San Jose. I've never done that before. As like, you know, going and paying for an abroad trip to play card games. The reward of the tournament doesn't, it pales in comparison to the community that we see, and I love it. I love it when people come up to me and say, "Hey, are you Hamish from Push the Point?"
Yeah, he actually does. No, guys, like he does really love it.
I do love it.
After every time, he'd be like,
"My God,
some more people love the podcast.
Oh my God, people like this shit." It's insane.
And just looking at the joy on his face is actually, it's like being a parent and seeing your.
I know, I'm older than Trip, and Trip's like, my boy's growing up.
Not for you, for me, but like I was just at an armory. Someone was like, I've been listening since episode 1.
No, I think last year and a bit of this year, a lot of the local UK scene, it's kind of like we know you guys. It's like, hey, how are you? You know, you don't.
It makes it so much easier to go to.
It still blows my mind that people actually listen to this.
Yeah, I know. It blows my mind too. It's yeah, I know.
Like, we do this because we enjoy chatting to each other and we enjoy chatting about the game that we love, and somehow we've picked up a few followers along the way, and it's like
it's amazing that we get.
What a privilege! What an absolute privilege!
And it's thanks to all of you for bothering your bum to listen to us. But my real goal was I want to try and hit 2K. There you go, 2K subs.
2K push the point.
2K push the point.
2K.
Just grow the patron scheme, and I don't necessarily mean that in more patrons. I think we just want to support our patrons. We're really happy with. I'm not mentioned this. Spoke to the guys about this, but I'm sure you feel the same. I'm really happy with where the Discord is in terms of.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's very brilliant.
Relaxed. It's just a good place to come and chat about Fab, and I'd like to.
We need more Switch game nights.
We do. We do actually. We do need more of that. I love it that the people, like our Discord channel members, are. What I love the most is that there's so many different chat groups you can, and we'll end on this point. There's so many different chat groups in Discord that you can throw your comments and your opinions into, and I just love it that they choose ours to do it. You know what I mean? You know, there's a new spoiler coming out, or the Dynasty set came out, and everyone, when we made the Sick Rips channel, and people wanted to just offload what their pulls were in that channel. It was very awesome that people want to ask questions, and even deck related stuff and all that sort of stuff. They go, I want to ask it in the Push the Point channel because there's some people there that I want to respond to this, because you've always got the big channels you could throw that into, but they choose it to do to ours, and and the more we can grow that scene, that community, the more we can all have a laugh with that. And I hope that's the social space that you'll want to hang out in.
Yeah, it's small enough that we, it's a good space, and I just love the chat.
Yeah,
good chat.
It is a good chat. Yeah. You should join our Patreon scheme and come hang out with us, because we literally, if you've got a good idea, I tend to make a channel for it, and we all go and we'll have a laugh.
Lowest tier, you get Discord access for that. So hopefully we'll have some more goodies to give away from Assassin.
100%. We still got some of these. Still got loads of heralds.
Yeah, we should get some more of those. Do we?
Not loads of heralds. We've got some heralds.
No. We've got more than you think.
Oh, did you end up with loads? Heralds. Well, we've got goodies. We'll probably end the podcast before Hamish decides to do a giveaway. And
no, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not doing a giveaway. I promise you.
He is going to be doing a giveaway.
But I will be doing. I think I've been arguing with Trip about doing a Christmas giveaway, and the Grinch here. Sorry.
Grinch up on the mountain, being like, "No, Hamish, we should save stuff for next year."
And I'm
Hamish,
like,
take everything I own. Like, have the shirt off my back, please. But we will think of something good to do as a Christmas giveaway. I think we've got a bundle in mind, a Christmas bundle.
Well, we'll check these out. We can check these heralds in the bundles.
Just throw any old shit in there.
Yeah, no, seriously, we've got 1, 2,
before we
3,
ramble on,
4. We've got 4 sets of, so it's like a red.
Sets?
Well, 4. Well, we got a red, yellow, and blue. That's how I do these.
Okay.
And we've got 4 of them, and then one of them we're the special ones. Remember, we got a Herald of Reaper.
Protection.
Herald protection. Blue. Protection. How random is that?
Right, Simon, wrap up the podcast. You can end this one.
All right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go and check out our Patreon, because we've just been talking about how awesome our Discord is, and I'm really hoping that we're going to see some of you guys at the ProQuest events coming up in January. So have a good Christmas if we don't speak to you before. We've got one more episode before Christmas.
Oh yeah, we've got one more.
We'll do a Christmassy episode.
Yeah, we could do a Christmassy. That's what I'm doing the giveaway.
With mince pies and
when you're listening to this
mulled wine.
Oh no, we'll do it live. Should we do it live?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll do it. Should we do it live? Let's do it live. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a bit of a break after that for Christmas and New Year.
Yeah. 100%.
So thank you guys. We couldn't do this without you, and we truly mean it. It is a privilege. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, ready for a Christmas episode.
Check us out 2 weeks.
Bye.
Peace, love you, bye.